Missed out on yesterday's NBA action? Well, you came to the right place. Welcome to TV's Daily NBA Recap, where I get to recap yesterday's NBA action in a short amount of time. Let's go. The first game I'm going to discuss is the first of the round 2 matchups. We have the Boston Celtics taking on the Toronto Raptors, in which the Boston Celtics take game 1 comfortably, very comfortably, winning 112-94 to take the 1-0 series lead. On the Boston side of things, we got 2 double-doubles here. We have Kemba Walker going for 18 points, 10 assists. We also have Daniel Theis going for 13 points, 15 rebounds. Tatum, 21 points with 9 rebounds as well, with Marcus Smart scoring 21. I mean, it was just a really good all-around scoring effort. For the Toronto Raptors, not good shooting basically everywhere. Anunoby went for 12 points on probably the best shooting percentages here. Lowry with 17.6 rebounds, 8 assists, and everyone else basically struggled. This game got ugly really early because the Raptors were getting their looks. It wasn't like the Raptors weren't open. They were open for the majority of their shots, and knowing from the Brooklyn series where they can get hot in a hurry, they've hit those shots. They've proved it last series, and they just couldn't hit it throughout the duration of this game. And with Boston, I mean, they didn't play a great game as well. Let's be completely honest. Like, they weren't, like, absolutely on fire. Sure, they were hitting threes here and here, but it wasn't like they were, like, scorching hot. The Raptors just missed shots that they simply should have made. Fred VanVleet, probably his worst game in the playoffs. I mean, besides Game 4 of last series where he didn't really play much. But he played 38 minutes, 11 points, 8 assists on 16 shots. Very, very rough shooting night for him. Siakam is a talking point of this game as well, where he just, as I want to quote an Instagram comment, he looked like a turkey, freaking turkey with Down syndrome on there. I mean, like, this guy just couldn't, like, hit the easiest shots, and it was just really frustrating to watch as a Raptor fan. And on the Celtics side of things, I mean, this is what I feared before the series. They just have shot makers, and it's just how the Raptors are going to handle them, because this was an all-around scoring effort. Tatum with 21. Brown didn't even have the best game, going 6 for 18, but Marcus Smart hit his shots, who was going to probably be the X factor in the series. And Kemba Walker did Kemba Walker type things. I mean, it was just a good all-around effort from Boston, and they punked the Raptors game 1. Actually, not even punked. It was like the Raptors just did themselves in, and they just weren't able to just get shots going. Dude, I don't think this is going to be the way this whole series is going to play out, but this is just not a good start for the Toronto Raptors. Obviously, Nick Nurse talked about it before the game that this whole week has been daunting on them. I mean, it was just like a really messed up week, and you could tell for people who are close to the situation, like with the Thunder losing by so much, the Raptors in this situation, like it's tough to go through like playing basketball in these type of like dire situations, but they'll bounce back. I mean, the Raptors are known to do that. I mean, the Game 1 syndrome still continues, but yeah, hopefully they'll be able to bounce back and, have a more competitive Game 2. We'll move on to the next game, and we have the Los Angeles Clippers winning 111-97 over the Dallas Mavericks to win the series 4-2. Kawhi Leonard, I mean, this guy is just, wow. This guy was probably one of the most consistent playoff performers I've seen in recent history. This guy scored 33 points, grabbed 14 rebounds, dished out 7 assists, going 14 for 23 in this game. Another good performance from Ivica Zubac, who had 15 points, 11 rebounds. And also Reggie Jackson off the bench scored 14. On the Dallas side of things, it was basically Luka Doncic show and not really anyone else helping him. Luka went for 38, 9 and 9 on 15 for 28 shooting, very, very efficient. And also, the only person that really did help him a little bit, and most of his points came in the first quarter, I believe, Dorian Finney-Smith, 16.6 rebounds, 4 assists. This game was very interesting because obviously we have the whole Luka Doncic, Marcus Morris beef. I'm going to probably go more into depth. Actually, no, forget that. No, it was dirty. Like, come on, 2 straight games in a row. In Game 5 being like him, like literally anywhere on the court, like this guy's trying to, and then like stepping on his injured ankle, and now like slapping him across the neck. Like, come on now, like that was dirty and wasn't intentional. It definitely seemed like it was definitely intentional. Like it just is like that. And glad he got ejected, but the Clippers still were able to win this game comfortably behind such a great performance from Kawhi Leonard, who has done this throughout the series. I don't think anyone's talking about this enough because Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell, and Luka have been dominating the headlines. But Kawhi Leonard just doing his thing. I mean, I believe like 5 out of the 6 games he scored over 30 points. And the only game he didn't score over 30 was when he scored 29. Like, he has been like probably the best player in this playoffs, and he's just continuing, literally like the legend of like how good he is. I mean, last year in the playoffs he was absolutely phenomenal, and is just continuing over to this series. And the Clippers really did like get out to a lead like second quarter going into the third quarter. Like they were up by 20. But Dallas fought back. I mean, Luka was leading the charge. They kept, trying to get the game close enough. And I believe they got down to like a 6 or a 3-point game. But the Clippers were just able to with Kawhi Leonard leading you, they were just able to, just lead into victory. And just plain and simple, he was the best player on the court. Luka didn't get much help, which he, in the wins that they did end up getting. Like, he had a lot of help, but they didn't really show up today. And he had a good game, but sadly his series ends here. And this is nothing to go against the Mavericks. They have a lot to build off of this. And hopefully, like I said, over the next 10 years, if they play their cards right, they could be in the final picture for a long time. So, very good series, good one for the Clippers. Dallas, they have a huge future ahead of them. Then we move on to the final game. And honestly, in terms of just series, just watchability, I've been loving this series, especially these last 2 games. The Denver Nuggets tie up the series 3-3 after being down 3-1, mind you, in a 119-107 victory. They're going to Game 7, which is happening tomorrow, I believe. Jamal Murray, man, what else can you say about this guy? 50 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. This guy was just absolutely on fire. He's a freaking flamethrower that cannot be stopped. 22 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists for Nikola Jokic as well. On the Utah Jazz side of things, let's not forget about freaking Donovan Mitchell, who has been dominating the playoffs so far. And once again, he does it here. 44 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. This game was just entertaining as hell, man. I mean, Jamal Murray didn't score much in the first quarter, but I believe the second quarter onwards, he had 40-something of his points. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And that fourth quarter, oh my gosh. This guy, honestly, you just knew, even though, no matter how tough the shot was, you just knew it was going in. And every time, I would just be falling back into my seat, what the heck? This guy is absolutely on fire. And this guy has been doing it, for the whole, bar, one game of the series. And what's weird is, there are 4 players in NBA history that have multiple 50-point games. Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, and these 2 guys, Mitchell and Jamal Murray, doing it in the same series. Absolutely ridiculous. The Denver Nuggets, what was their key here in this game? They played average defense. I mean, sure, the Jazz still got their shots up. 45% from field, 50% from 3. But at least they were playing, that's average. It's not like the 60% that they were giving up, in Game 4. It wasn't the near, over 50% from 3. This is average. This is what I was talking about, before the series. They just have to play average defense because there's not going to be enough help around Mitchell to help score. And this was the case that game because Jamal Murray went tick for tack with Donovan Mitchell. And honestly, one of the best, just one-on-one type matchups I've seen, especially this playoffs for now. But I don't know, this felt like one of the better ones over the last few years. This has been so entertaining, and Game 7 is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I honestly, just thinking through my head, all those threes that he hit. And after the game, and Jamal Murray, instead of talking about how great his performance was, he went back to the actual issues at play, that have to be discussed. He had Breonna Taylor on his left shoe and George Ford on his right shoe, and he said, I'm fighting for them. It's such a great message afterwards. And this guy got super emotional after the game, and you could just tell that this guy wanted it. He said before the series that he definitely could have played better in last year's playoffs. He had a bad playoff run, but this year, one of the best, honestly, one of the best first round matchups in a while. This guy, honestly, just watch the highlights, man. Just watch the highlights, and you could just see how ridiculous Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell were in this game. It's absolutely crazy, and I honestly just can't wait for Game 7 happening tomorrow. Like, this series has been like such an up and down series, and it's finally going to Game 7. Let's see how this is going to play out because, man, this has been such a fun series. And this is where we're going to end things here. Thank you guys for watching. If you're on IGTV, remember to follow and also show some love by dropping a like. If you're on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you for taking your time today for watching this. And I'll come back later with another podcast episode, so look out for that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hope you all have a great day. Take it easy, y'all. Peace.